Tea Time True Crime with Katie, and this case is a lot to cover. I don't even know what to talk about next, but I really do want to focus on the kid that was taken away by two other kids. Craig Sorger was born February 10th, 1990. He was a sweet, bubbly kid, and before he disappeared, he was going out to play with friends. His mother was very nervous about it because he was getting over a cold. Then all of a sudden, his two friends show up at Craig's door wanting to know if he could play. Again, the mother was very apprehensive and she goes, "Okay, bring him back in an hour." But they did not bring him back in an hour. In fact, 3 hours later, the mother called 911 to try to find her son. Her son, Craig, was on the autism spectrum. So law enforcement was extremely worried about his safety. His body was found in the forest. Now, the two boys, Evan and Jake, they claimed that he fell from a tree. And they were scared and they ran away. The kids kept changing their story. And finally, they told the story where actually what happened. Between Evan and Jake, they were kind of blaming each other, throwing their friend under the bus. But the evidence did show that his sweatshirt was covered in blood, and they found the knife a couple years later in the lake. I'm about to tell y'all what happened to Craig. Craig was thought that he was playing with his two friends. Instead, they made him look at the ground. They're like, look at the ground for 10 seconds. He looked at the ground and he didn't realize that one of his friends got a huge log and dropped it on his neck. The little boy was crying and screaming and really was like, "Why are you doing this to me?" And Jake brought a knife to this play date and just started stabbing Craig all over the head about 34 times. Now remember, these boys said he fell out of a tree, but that was not the case. The autopsy showed that he was stabbed and tortured. 20 years later, Jake is out on a plea deal, and he becomes an anti-abortionist and hates the LGBT community. Jake and Evan also tried to frame Craig's parents in Craig's murder. One of the boys claimed that their friend wanted to become a mass murderer, and they wanted to start with Craig, and they were sad that it ended so suddenly. Truly horrifying. Prayers and to the loved ones of Craig. That's awful. Thanks for watching, and remember, you're doing better than you think.